All right, it's baseball season. That's right. Here at the OddsShopper channel, we have tons of content. We have a way in which you can beat the books, and we want you here throughout the MLB season. Tons of offers and tons of ways to get around a couple of mistakes that the average bettor is making. So welcome to baseball. Welcome to the OddsShopper channel. We appreciate you getting ready for baseball season. And with that, the biggest thing you can do, the number one advantage you have over everybody else, is the ability to shop lines. Now, you may think, well, run lines, how much is that going to vary? But books will make mistakes. Books will be slow in adjusting their lines, their money lines, their totals, which is another way that you can catch. Look, hockey works the same way. Similar principles in baseball. The run or the puck line may not move much. So if you do find just a little bit of wiggle room, there's that much more value. So we want you to take advantage of our tools on the OddsShopper premium site. You can shop lines. If it's run lines, if it's first five, if it's strikeouts, whatever it may be, from player props to game lines and anything in between, you must shop around. The difference between 5 cents, 10 cents, 15 cents over a course of a 162-game season is exponential. You want to win, not bleed out. That's the goal here. That's why we tell you that shopping lines is essential, especially when it comes to money lines and totals. We have that here for you. We constantly have deals for you on the OddsShopper Premium tool. There's a link below where you can click and sign up and take full advantage of this. You don't even need to know the sport in which you're betting. That's the beauty of line shopping, because we have a tool. We have a proven algorithm that has made us money exponentially hand over fist so far. We want to share it for you here for the baseball season. So with all the content that we have, jump on the OddsShopper Premium tool. We have a link below, a deal for you right now to jump in. Speaking of which, once you sign up for the OddsShopper Premium tool and you're all set with how to shop lines, and now it's time to sign up at a bunch of different books, or maybe take advantage of a couple of offers at books that you've been slow to sign up. That's okay. That's fine. We have links below there for you as well. So the biggest advantage that you have across the board is shopping lines, and we have that here on OddsShopper. A couple of mistakes that the average bettor makes in baseball that we should talk about. First and foremost, I know you've seen me on the Odd Shop, and every now and again you may hear a ridiculous trend and usually a sense of humor following with it. Don't get caught up in trends in baseball. It is a killer. The reason is because you will see stats and numbers and trends derived from the last 5, 10 years with a team. It doesn't matter. The turnover of rosters, the turnover of rotations, it's obsolete by the time you get to the next season. The only thing that matters when it comes to a trend or when it comes to history, it's not what a player, what a batter has done against the Miami Marlins. It's what a batter has done against this particular pitcher. So don't worry about trends over the last 15 night games on a Tuesday. Don't worry about, well, this guy is 0 for his last 50 against the Miami Marlins. Worry about what he is on his last 50 against Sandy Alcantara. You see the difference? Trend only applies here when you're talking about one specific matchup, and that's history between one batter and one pitcher. I don't care about anything else at bat to at bat. Everything else is in one ear, out the other noise. The other major mistake that I see you making all the time, to be fair, you really shouldn't be doing this outside of the NFL, but I think the nature of the run line, the fact that it's normally 1, 1.5, every now and again 2, blowout expected 2.5, but the fact that we're dealing with these type of parameters that rarely move, you want to push. You want to move alternate lines. You may even want to move an alternate total. Don't. Do not. The biggest mistake outside of falling into trends is looking around and saying to yourself, you know, when it comes to trend, when it comes to a team, when it comes to a bet, looking at it not from the side of every bet starts over one by one by one. Trends are dangerous. You want to stay away from that, and you also want to stay away from this. Now, we have some positives too. We have a couple of things here that you should be paying attention to because there are some major rule changes coming up. So With the backdrop of the OddsShopper premium tool where you can shop lines for both player props, strikeouts, home runs, hits, and wins, losses, totals, things along those lines, you have to look at a couple of major rule changes. I think the biggest one clearly is going to be the pitch clock factored in with the increase of the size of the base. Those two rules stand alone on one side, and we'll talk about the shift ban in a second. But the ability now to speed up a pitcher or a batter and trap a pitcher or a batter early in the season, you're going to see both sides make mistakes. That's going to add either a strike or a ball to the line, to the count. That is devastating when you only get 3 or 2 of those in an at-bat. People are going to make mistakes. It's going to compound early in the season. They're not going to really handle the pitch clock efficiently, not at least until the second half of the season. It also means that it's really hard now for a pitcher, much harder to hold a runner. Expect base runners, especially teams that are known to steal bases, expect them to be aggressive, expect catchers to rush some throws, and expect base runners to advance without needing the help of whoever's at the plate. All of that, which brings us to our second strategy here, should translate early in the season, I'd say the first third of the season, into a lot more overs. So I'm looking at betting lower numbers, 6.5, 7.5, 8.5 over in the first third of the season. The change of rule here, especially with the pitch clock, 15 seconds, 20 seconds with a man on base, the increase of the bag size from 15 to 18 square inches, that's going to translate into base runners, stealing bases, and more runs. Now, last thing to think about, strategy. Talk about strikeouts. Talk about hits. We talk about a lot of player prop opportunities. Well, with the shift ban, the increase with the pitch clock, more singles and base runners getting on and extending their stay on the base path, I want to look at who's going to be impacted most. Fly ball pitchers are not going to be impacted nearly as much as guys who keep it on the ground. It's just the nature of it. It doesn't matter how good they are on the ground. It's just a problem now. The rules have done somewhat of a job here at trying to even out the playing field between the fly ball pitcher and the ground ball pitcher. I'm looking to fade early in the season, the first third of the season. I'm looking to fade ground ball pitchers. Meanwhile, I'm looking to tail fly ball pitchers. The fly ball pitcher, the guy who pitches to contact in the air, not going to be impacted nearly as much as the guy putting the ball on the ground when it comes to pitching. So, a couple of things to stay away from, a couple of things to stay on. We just want you here on the OddsShopper channel. We have a ton of content for you. Baseball, beating the books, prize picks, anything you can think of for Major League Baseball. So hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed here. Let's start winning some tickets.